Deine Geschichte,
dein Weg, dein Job. A very warm welcome from Studio Ansage in Friedrichshain-Kreuzberg to Deine Geschichte, dein Weg, dein Job, and your podcast about arriving and living in Germany. My name is Marilena Khadjedoniou, and today my guest is Ayşe Dayı, a psychologist, a Reiki master teacher, and a mindfulness trainer. And we're all very much looking forward to her story and how she arrived to Germany.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it. Deine Geschichte.
Dein Weg, dein Job.
How did you arrive to Germany?
¿Cuáles fueron tus primeros pasos?
War es schwer, einen Job zu finden?
Cuéntanos cómo es tu vida ahora.
4 women
3 languages.
Und viele
and many
Geschichten.
life
Y
stories.
muchas historias. Just go,
Just go for it.
Just go
Just
for
go
it.
for it. Ayşe, hello.
Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for finding the time and coming today to our podcast.
And I thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
Very welcome. Now, I introduced you with your name. I'm not sure I spelled everything, I pronounced everything correctly. Ayşe is correct.
Very correct.
You're
Ayşe.
from Turkey.
Yeah. I'm from Turkey, from Istanbul, the Republic of Istanbul.
You're from Istanbul. Very nice city. And in a way, Istanbul and Berlin often are considered sister cities. Is that correct?
I don't know, but they could be in my heart. Istanbul is where I have my roots, and Berlin is now where I live, and I'm quite actually amazed and happy to be here also.
And you feel comfortable here. Very
I
nice.
do, with all the multicultural environment.
Now, I tried to introduce you in the beginning, and I said you're a psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also a Reiki master teacher, and you're a mindfulness trainer, coach.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of things. When did you start? Where did you start? Did you study psychology? Did you do that in Turkey? How was your formation?
How was the journey, huh?
How was the journey?
So I studied psychology in Istanbul, in Boğaziçi University, the best one. And then I also studied political science. I did double major. And then I went to the US and did master's and PhD in human development family studies. And there I also was introduced to Qigong and Tai Chi. So I got into the, let's say, energy work, which I had some interest, but I really got into it. But also Reiki I started. So things started from there and moved on. Yeah.
So very strong combining academia, but also the health of the body and the well-being of the body, combining both. Very interesting.
Yeah. So I did, actually in academia, I did my topics were women's health, women's reproductive and sexual health. So I also see where people go into the health and healing. This includes doctors and nurses. I think there's something they want to go into healing that attracts them. So I did that academically with women, on their health, and then I took it also to larger health also. Holistic health.
A holistic health and
Exactly.
to a larger public.
Exactly.
So, okay, that's very interesting. But now, how did you come to Germany? Why Germany? Why Berlin?
Mm-hmm.
And when?
Immigrants are always asked, when did you come? Are you going back? Sometimes that question too. And I've been an immigrant in most of my adult life.
Okay.
But I came to Germany in 2018. So been like 5 years now. And I was in Switzerland before here for 2 years in Lausanne. And then before that, I was in Turkey. Before that, I was in the US. But how I came to Germany was I was in Turkey and I was going to settle in Turkey after long years in the US. But then I signed a political petition, Academics for Peace, and got fired from my position in the university.
Oh, wow. When was that? In 2018?
So that was 2016,
16.
January. So that was a petition called Academics for Peace.
Mm-hmm.
And we were asking, we meaning the academics, were asking the government then to stop the heavy military military raids in the southeast part of Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So then there was a counter operation, and a lot of us academics got fired. We lost the jobs. Some of the colleagues also lost their passports and ability to move actually out of Turkey. So I moved out actually quite quickly at the at the end of May of 2016. First to France, Paris, for 2 months with a scholarship, and then with another position in Switzerland for 2 years in Lausanne, University of Lausanne. And then I came to Germany, Berlin, for with another academic scholarship for academics in exile. And I worked in Freie Universität for Margarita von Brandtner Centrum for Gender Studies. But in Switzerland, I decided to get out of academia. I was doing a soul searching. And then here in Berlin, I was able to make the leap.
To change. But wow, now you said quite a bit of information. Now in Turkey 2016, you applied quickly to get this academia for academics in exile scholarship because you were afraid that otherwise your passport could be taken away? So was there an urgency in applying quickly and leaving the country?
Yes, but also I first observed the situation. I think many of us also did. And actually, while I was observing, I applied all the techniques now I also share with the public.
With your students.
Exactly, with participants. So I did Qigong, I did meditation because the fear and anxiety rises very quickly and then there's not much you can do except, of course, to take precautions legally and individually. But I could see, and we could see that we were blacklisted and we would not be taken in the academia. Or if we were taken, we would be censored or self-censoring. So I already knew, or we could see that we could not work in the universities anymore, at least for a while. And then kind of things moved very quickly that I was able to get a position, and some other friends. We also assisted. We had a big solidarity group, and there's also, we have an association in Berlin, in Germany, called Academics for Peace, that keeps on the solidarity also for our colleagues,
And this is for the academics from Turkey?
From Turkey, but of course then we are in quite close contact with others who are also in exile from Syria, from Afghanistan, from
of course,
other places also of the world.
Okay, for our listeners, we're going to link if you want the Academics for Peace in the show notes later on, so people can find them and support them. Very nice. So so from the US, where you have been a migrant and speaking English quite a lot, you moved back to Turkey, and then you had a small French excursion via Paris and French-speaking part of Switzerland.
Well,
we keep this in English for now, but
yes.
And then you came to Germany because you found an interesting academic scholarship.
Yeah, but also because I actually tried to stay in Switzerland, in Lausanne or Switzerland, so that at least I continue in the same language of French then. But it wasn't possible, and I was also trying to find a new career already. I was applying to schools to be with the kids in that environment. But there, the Swiss laws of migration are strict, not only for non-Europeans, stricter for non-EU people like me and us, but also even for EU people. So I already then realized that it was becoming harder to stay there as a migrant, and I didn't want to ask asylum. So then this opened. So all these years, including the US, but even in these more last years, I learned to be more and more flexible and to go with the flows and not to hit your head against the walls. If something is not working out, then see if something else is working out. And I had friends and colleagues from back in Turkey, from Turkey here already in Berlin. So I asked them how the situation is, if they like Berlin.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, we love it. Please come, and we'd love to have you here also. So I changed the route one more time.
Okay, very, very good. Thank you very much. So you arrived in Berlin, and you didn't come to Germany. You came actually very specific to Berlin because you had already acquaintance here or friends here. And what were your first steps? What did you do coming here?
First thing, there are always these videos and fun things, right? First things we learn is Anmeldung, the words we learn.
Very important German words.
How can I get Anmeldung? Which bank? How? But because I came with a scholarship, and of course there was help to us from the program, also Academics in Exile. So of course trying to first settle, and then trying to find our way into German and also Berlin. Of course, this is easier than a lot of places because there's a Turkish-speaking community already, not only in German, but not only in Berlin, but Germany, but more in Berlin. So you can find a Turkish-speaking person somewhere, but also then kind of settling became a little easier. I felt quite actually welcomed by the city, by the program, by also, and I want to give thanks through this show also to the Turkish migrants who came in the 60s, late 60s, and all these generations. And when I see them, I always thank them because I say you made the way for the rest of us.
Easier.
Exactly, because they had a rough time. They worked very hard. It wasn't easy. But because they were here and they opened this path that we can come. We can come as the rest, not only from Turkey, but also the rest of the migrants. Also.
I see. And the program, did it also help? Did it support you to find a flat, to find accommodation?
Yes, they actually
very
helped.
good.
So, and then I did my own also a lot of search, and then I helped, and we helped the others afterwards. Like, okay, how do you make a profile on these Immobilien sites, and then I also advise them, okay, say you are a prof, use your doctor degree, which we wouldn't say normally, but so that you can be taken seriously by the
interesting. So sometimes you would
homeowners, because your name is Turkish, you're a migrant and you're Turkish, there might be some discrimination without knowing you.
Just because of hearing your name. And then in situations, normally you would not use your doctor title because you don't want to sound arrogant. But here the advice was, you have one doctor title, use it. It's going to find you a flat easier.
Yeah. And people put it on the doorbells also. And I found also, I didn't put it on the doorbell, but people, when I show the card and if it says doctor, they say, oh, you're a doctor. And I say, Yeah, but not the one who gives you medicine. The other one. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not a medical doctor
Yeah.
in that sense, but you have studied psychology. You do
Yeah.
help also
Yeah.
with healing a little bit the soul.
Yeah.
You're not a psychotherapist, but you are a coach. You
Mhm.
can apply
Yeah. Counselor. I call,
counseling
yeah.
what
Yeah,
what you've
exactly.
learned. And did you also start looking for German classes to learn the language?
I did, and then I went to first TU, Technische Universität, and then Universität, and then FU, because we were already at Freie Universität, and it was fun. And then I remembered, because I went to an American school in Turkey. First foreign language was English. The second one was German, and it had already stayed somewhere in the back of my mind, which was pretty interesting.
So some words started coming back.
Somewhere it was there, and then
Yeah.
I was able to pull it,
Pull it
out,
up.
yeah.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. And then let's move on a little bit. 2018, you came with a scholarship. You did your first steps, and then you were looking for a job, I assume. Or were you looking for another scholarship? Or what were your first moves, your first steps to find a job?
No, I mean, I already came with the scholarship, so it was for 1+1 years. So the first year, and then with an ability to extend it to the second year. Then it happened like that also. So I was already with a job for 2 years. But as it was also in Switzerland, these were scholarships. I mean, Switzerland wasn't a scholarship. It was a position, but also for academics in exile. So a special type of funding, temporary, let's say. And then here too, it was this time a scholarship, and it was going to end at 2 years. I had the ability, and like my colleagues here or elsewhere also, that I could have looked for another scholarship of similar scholarship, but say from Philip Schwartz, other places. But because I decided to get out of academia, I prepared myself during Corona, actually. I made my website, I mean, with professional help, actually, but took all the bureaucratic steps. And it was quite adventurous because I didn't know the language well. I don't know this bureaucracy, but a lot of angels helped, a lot of organizations also helped. And then I took the leap and founded my own organization, my own platform.
So now you are a freelancer, you have your own organization.
Exactly.
Since 2020?
2020.
Just like Just-Go-For-It also, we were also created in 2020.
Ah, voila. Yeah.
Another similarity.
Yeah.
And your organization, it's called?
It's called Orca Dreams, Platform for Mindful Living. So Orca, the whales, which I love and I respect, and I think they are mystical beings, both orcas and whales, all the whales. And dreams I took from Dreamtime of Aborigines in Australia. So I wanted to have this platform for holistic health and healing. Yeah.
Very nice. And you can work now in all the areas that you have previously also studied in academia, but now you also work with the body. So you work as a Tai Chi teacher, as a mindfulness coach?
So I teach Qigong.
Qigong. Qigong you teach.
But I'm also learning. I go to Wudang Schule here in Berlin. I highly recommend it. They do very old style, deep and good teaching. So I'm learning it. In a way, I've done it for long years, but I'm still a very beginner in a lot of the ways. But I teach a certain Qigong, like 6 healing sounds Qigong, and like 8 brocades. So certain Qigong for opening the meridians and balancing the organs and emotions, which is anyway the whole Qigong and Tai Chi does also, of course. But yeah, I also do mindfulness workshops, like mindfulness-based stress reduction and other workshops also.
Fantastic. And you do these in as a group class, or do you also give sometimes individual advice?
So I, as a psychologist, I do one-on-one counseling. And then I also do organizational consultation. And then these group programs. And the group programs I do regular programs at Volkshochschule, 2 of them in Berlin, Mitte and Kreuzberg, Friedrichshain. And then I work with the organizations, which are called like civil society or EFAs, many of them, and usually with women, sometimes also with children, with youth. So with those programs, I, of course, then design it for their needs, whatever that specific group of women, usually they are immigrants, sometimes immigrant and refugee women need. And this year actually, last year because we're almost over, we're at the end of it, but I started emphasizing more movement along with meditation and other activities, because I realized we are not moving, me included, but a lot of Turkish-speaking community, other communities also, but we're not couch potatoes, but we're not moving enough. We're not moving enough, and actually the body needs movement and likes movement and opens up very quickly, actually responds very quickly. And once the body is flexible, the mind is also a little more flexible.
Yeah, of course. And they say nowadays sitting is the new smoking. So people don't smoke so much anymore, but they're sitting far too much, and it's really not healthy. That we should get out and move much more.
Yeah, and we are not made for sitting. I always joke, I say we are Homo erectus erectus. We came up, we stood up, and we are sitting. And also, I think the education system, I think it's already changing. Everything is changing, but this is not very human and humane to sit for 6 hours, 5 hours. Worse also for the kids.
True.
For all of us.
And your courses, you do them in which languages? Because I'm sure there's a big demand also for courses in Turkish, because there's a big community.
Yeah. So for now, since 2020, for 5 years, I've been doing Turkish and English mainly. This year I started a little bit German.
Very
also,
good.
Especially the Qigong and little bit Qigong meditation workshops. So it's also helping me a little bit adapt and see how I can do it in German. And we're having a lot of fun because it's usually migrant communities, and our German is, mine is still worse than theirs, but it's fun to
You're learning
speak together.
all together, and you
exactly.
help each other all together. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So how is your life today? How would you say? Have you arrived? Have you settled? What describe a typical day of Ayşe in Berlin?
Typical day of Ayşe. Okay. Typical day of Ayşe. Ayşe gets up and hopefully she does some exercise, which I was telling my Qigong teacher, I said, I'm not practicing every day. I know I have to. And he said, he's very kind. He said 3 times a week is also okay. So if I do, I have a schedule because I'm taking a training now, Qigong teacher training. So I do that, and with a little bit of meditation. And then I start the rest of the day. So mostly I work from home, and then when I need to go to these programs or for meetings also, but to give a course or workshop, then I go out to the spaces of the organizations or Volkshochschule. And then at night I do another round of meditation, depending on the night and whatnot, but also Reiki. I give Reiki to different people. I have also, with my Reiki group from my teacher, and we are in a Reiki group. So we also send Reiki to the world, which needs it a lot, both to the planet, but also all these areas, but also to the whole world, basically, so we can actually get ourselves together, all together.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you start, in a way, you start and you finish your day in a very meditative way, yeah? Be it with Reiki, be it with meditation itself, and giving love or good thoughts to the world out there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I also, when but I might also, if I have consultations, counseling sessions, then I have them in the day also. Then I evaluate, then I take my notes. So there's some kind of also review of the day or of the case or whatnot within the day. But these hours I'm not getting that early, and especially now it's getting up gray and ending gray. It's a bit getting on our Mediterranean nerves.
Hard.
But,
it's
a
difficult.
bit hard, or everybody's. But I think still, mostly all these people who meditate or also who pray, whatnot, these hours before sunrise, little before sunrise and after sunset, or at night, I find it better at night actually, this calmness, before everything starts and after everything ends.
Of course.
So
it's
after dream time, before
yes.
dream time.
Yeah. After dream time and before dream time. Yeah. Very, very nice metaphor. Oh, fantastic. Superb. So you had, in a way, your community already when you came here, because it is true that not only Berlin, in Germany as well, there's a big Turkish community, but you're also reaching out to other communities, of course, especially to women, to people who understand themselves as women or females, or Flinter, we say in German. What is the one tip for migrants who come now anew to Berlin? What would you say, this one recommendation, this thing I would do again, or I would never do again? You know, if you can avoid this, avoid.
That's a tough question. I need to think. But I think, migrants know already. Like they have, whoever migrates, it's for different reasons, of course.
Of course.
And when I had to get out of Turkey, in this case, so exile situation is different. Migration or refugee is different also, of course. So it gave me a reflection of, first, I remembered my ancestors from both sides were exiles. One from Greece with the exchange of populations, the other part from actually Syria, my paternal grandmother and her family. And then linking it to today and this ongoing. So people have been always on the move, one way or the other, for life, for war and whatnot too. To make war, or to get out of war, for economic or for a better life. So people have been always on the move. Second thing I realized was that I am still privileged migrant. Like I have a language, I know English already. I had some French, etc., some little bit German, and also little money and connections. So it's different from a person who had to just leave the house and take whatever they can and just go out, and they don't know the language, and they have been also much more traumatized. So I think, why I said all this, because people know already if they are migrants, and sometimes the ancestral line, the wisdom comes already, like if you're migrants. And I think not only in Turkey, Anatolia, but a lot of our ancestors moved from place to place or to this place. So I think we already know, so we can trust and we can pull the information. But connection maybe would be one thing to keep doing, to keep connecting and be open to connections. I would maybe say that because it brings a lot of connections that one might not have known because we don't know the new context. But if you're open for it, and when you are open for it, because maybe if people are traumatized, they need some time to settle, be safe, stabilize, and then they can be open for connection better. But whenever it happens, then it's much fun because you see a lot of other people, a lot of other lives, and making bridges. So one thing in Orca Dreams, the platform, I wrote that it's bridging. The one main aim is to bridge cultures like whales. So when they migrate and when they send the sound, the songs, it travels across oceans. So
very
hopefully
nice.
Connection. Yeah.
So connection, be open, but also I liked what you said about trust the process. In a way, trust your ancestors' wisdom. I thought that's very nice. Like trust the wisdom is within you already.
Yeah.
And trust the process, as we say.
Yeah.
Ayşe, thank you very much for being here.
I thank you and all the team also here and with you.
Thank you very much. We will definitely connect also your website so people can find you and book courses, come to your classes and learn and take some of your wisdom. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
4 women,
3 languages.
Viele
many
Geschichten
life
y
stories.
muchas historias. Just go for it.
Just go
Just go for it. Danke an Studio Ansage für den Raum und die Technik. Vor allem Hans und Daniel für die Aufnahmeleitung. Danke Svantje Reuter für Expertise, Mut und Zuspruch. Und natürlich unseren Gästen. Dieser Podcast wurde produziert von Just-Go-For-It und unterstützt mit Mitteln des Projektfonds Kulturförderung Friedrichshain-Kreuzberg.